Come out to the bar.
Hello YouTube, cheers and welcome to The Basement. My name is Bruce Lively.
And I'm D-Boy Slim.
And The Basement Debates is the first exclusive hip-hop debate format. Every Tuesday and Friday, we tackle the most intriguing topics in hip-hop culture and the world around it. So welcome back, Basement family.
We're going back to neighborhood, y'all.
Let's do it.
We're going back to neighborhood.
As the indictment...
For those of y'all that are slow, neighborhood Nip we talking.
Mister.
But from a different viewpoint.
Check it out. We know the indictment is brought down on Eric Holder, the alleged murderer of Nipsey Hussle. Let's talk about Chris Darden recusing himself from the case after receiving death threats on him and his family, allegedly. Let's talk about it.
The same Chris Darden that tried to have OJ locked up and failed miserably?
That's the one. That same one.
Him again, huh?
Well, we have to ask, should he have recused himself? Was that a good thing?
Let's get into it.
With that being said, Lego. Yeah, so we have to make it a debate. This is a debate show. It's a hip-hop debate show.
That's a fact.
There's nothing more important in hip-hop right now than the death of Nipsey Hussle, as I think he was an ambassador for us.
A lot of us are still mourning.
Still mourning. If you're looking at this show, you just saw his picture that we've been putting up all for the last 2 months, ever since his death. So
hit the whole hip-hop community quite tremendously hard.
And for a good reason. He was more than just a rapper, but we're not even going to talk about that today. Nah. Today, we're talking about Chris Darden.
Coon?
The Chris Darden.
Coon.
Is he a coon? Some people may say that. I mean, I don't know. He was working a job.
Here's the debate. Because some people say, oh, he just was doing his job.
He was working a job. But, yeah, him recusing himself. It's a lot to go into. I'm going to let you go ahead and start this off. What do you think?
I know that after the whole OJ debacle where they used you as a puppet to try to have a black face prosecute another black face, and you failed miserably. And you looked like the Uncle Tom. I know it took him all of 20 to 25 years just to live that down. So it's quite remarkable to me. It's quite... I can't even think of the proper adjective, but it's amazing to me that 25 years later, you, again, on the wrong side of history, are the one... I don't know if that was by choice or you were selected or...
That's what I'm about to look up now.
Because I don't want to speak for the law firm. I don't want to speak out of turn, but it's you again. You have to be oblivious and naive to what's going on in the black community. I don't know any other way to say it. You have to be oblivious. Because even if there's a lot of people that may have not have known Nipsey's music, but after he died, my mom now knows who Nipsey Hussle is. Like,
right, facts.
So I say all that to say it's not an excuse. Like, there is no excuse for you, Chris Darden, to step up and defend Nipsey Hussle's killer, allegedly. So getting into the question,
I'm looking up right now, people, so we can know for sure
was he correct in recusing himself? I'll wait till Bruce comes up with the actual factual, but what in the world, what in God's name made you take the job in the first place is a better question. An important, prominent black figure, this time it's not OJ. This time it's actually somebody more important. You know, and I'm not talking about his rap skills. I'm talking about somebody who opened up a store in the district of South Central LA, Los Angeles, on one of the worst corners and one of the worst avenues and one of the worst strips on one of the worst blocks in the country in Crenshaw and Slauson, in the rolling 60s neighborhood, turf and territory, opened up his own business. That had meaning, that had purpose. He was amongst everything else that he did, which I'm sure Bruce will get into, his philanthropy. Did I say that right, Bruce?
Philanthropy.
His giving back. This guy was an important guy, not only just to hip hop, but just to the black community, period. He was an important guy. Ask LA if you don't believe me. Ask anybody who's from LA if you don't believe me, like how important this guy was. So for you to defend his alleged killer, it's like, my man, what are you doing out here, man?
I'll say this, though. It seems an unfortunate coincidence.
To say the least.
It seems an unfortunate coincidence that when you were on the prosecutor's side, you was going against the one black guy every other black person wanted to be free. And then when you're on the defendant side, you're going against the one black person everybody didn't want to die. So I understand it, but there's a whole other side of this, and this is what I've gotten so far. It's a law firm. I believe it's his law firm that he is a partner in that is defending this person. Why? Because these types of law firms love high-profile cases, because when they get them off, they get a lot more money. This is the way it works. This is the law. This is how that business works. It's a shady one.
It's good logic.
So, on the other hand, there's something called the Sixth Amendment in the Constitution. It says every person accused of a crime has the right to a defense attorney, criminal defense, or representation. So if you can't find one, or you're not high profile enough for somebody like the law firm that Chris Darden works for to come get you, they'll even assign you one that works for the state, because it's the law. He's a defense attorney. Now, I agree with everything that you said about him. It's an unfortunate coincidence. It seems crazy that it's you again. But believe it or not, in his time of being a defense attorney, how many death threats did he get for getting off the guy who did the mass murdering that he had to defend? The guy who raped children that he had to defend. The child murderer, the child rapist that he had to defend because they were allowed a defense attorney. How many times did anybody send him death threats when he was maybe going after somebody who killed somebody else's mom? What I'm saying is he's a defense attorney, and this person is allowed the best defense possible. It's in the Constitution. We've got to get over that fact. I'm not here to tell you that Chris Darden isn't this or isn't that. I don't know him personally. I know that it's unfortunate that he finds the wrong side to be on all the time, and it's probably because maybe he is a little bit of coonish. Maybe they do think that every time they put his face in front of something, they're going to get away with it. Maybe they do talk in the bathrooms about black people and he chuckles a little bit so he thinks they're with him. Maybe he does go to the restaurant while they're laughing about black people or telling them to put their pants up, and he chimes in with a, yeah, they should. Sure, that's what it seems like to me. I don't know that for sure, but I do know, no. You don't recuse yourself because this person who you're defending is allowed that defense. And guess what, people? We don't send death threats to defense attorneys because you may need one soon or later. You may need one. When people thought that you did it for sure, And maybe you didn't. You may want one. So no, we can't just go around threatening and giving death threats to the criminal defense attorney's house and their family and calling them on the phone saying, hey, I'm a shooter, which is exactly verbatim what they said to him. And no, he should not have recused himself just on that alone. I have no idea who he is or what kind of a character he has. I can guess, and I think I've told you already what I think. But the truth is, nah. The Sixth Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America says everyone's allowed the best defense possible. And this law firm decided to defend him. So do your job.
Fine. You want to look at it from a standpoint of, you doing your job? Well, let's look at it through that scope. Let's look at it through that lens.
Let's do that.
It's simply bad for business. You're still in Los Angeles, obviously, where the OJ trial took place, where it occurred at. You look bad, man. On a grand scale of things, it looks bad. It looks bad for you. It looks bad for your family. It looks bad for your law firm.
No, so can I ask you a question about that? If we agree, which I believe you just did, that the reason why these types of law firms take these cases, because I doubt that Eric Holder could afford that law firm. The reason why they take these cases is because when you can prove that somebody who's been on video shooting somebody is innocent, you then make your law firm the #1 defense attorney law firm. Like everybody else who did or didn't do it wants you to defend them. If you got this guy off.
One problem, Bruce.
That's how that works. That's why they did it.
One problem, Bruce. What did you think you were going to pull a Johnny Cochran off?
Well, he didn't.
You actually have to be an above average attorney.
Damn!
So, but what we don't know, what I found out just by chance in reading, your boy Christopher Darden, for years.
You mean since the OJ trial?
Since the OJ trial, when he first got, you see, we think that publicity.
He's won a couple cases.
Right. He's been a great defense attorney for his law firm for years now. And that's the deal is, you see, we look at publicity as in good or bad. But one thing we have to remember, especially while doing a show like this, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Even the person who's looked at as the bum, as the donkey,
again,
was allowed to go to a law firm where he can now be a great defense attorney.
I stick with my stance.
In quotes.
It is a good thing that you recused yourself, because one thing that's for sure, two things that's for certain. This kid is not getting off of this. I don't care if Johnny Cochran came out the grave and sat right beside you with Robert Shapiro and Robert Kardashian. This guy is not getting off because of the circumstances, because of how high profile it is, and because of what you just mentioned, it's on video. He's not getting off. So I think whatever intelligence that you do possess, you were intelligent enough to realize that you're in a lose-lose situation. It's not a good look for your law firm. It's not a good look for you. It's not a good look for your family. You should expect your family to get death threats, even though I was with you until there. No, you should. This is Nipsey Hussle. You should expect for your family to get death threats. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. But
I'm saying it's wrong.
But that's not the stance I'm taking. I'm saying you should expect that. With any type of intelligence, you should expect that. I don't care who you put in front of Eric Holder, they're not winning this one. It's a no-win on this one.
Yeah, you can't go by that as a defense attorney. If every defense attorney decides they're not going to take a case because they don't think they could win, then the whole idea of the Sixth Amendment of the Constitution is for naught.
Listen, you can talk Constitution and amendments all day. You're not winning this case. You might have won the 10 before it. You may win 10 after it. this particular one, because it meant so much to so many people that this kid murdered and slayed a guy on camera.
We think, allegedly.
No,
that's the point I'm getting. No allegedly, wins. Everybody deserves
no wins
the
in
trial.
This one. And he'll get an attorney. He'll be able to get a some type of legal representation.
It won't be the best though, because Chris Darden is gone.
I would imagine your other lawyer buddies and your other constituents, judges, have probably told them.
No. Ah, boy. Listen, the firm thought it was important enough and it was a good look enough to take the case because they thought they could have a chance to
hire new people in your firm then.
That's one thing.
Because they're not informed.
So this is the philosophical versus the reality. Reality is, I have to agree with you for everything that we just said. The philosophical debate is, which I want you guys to answer. This is my wrap up.
Because even, you know,
wait a minute, let me finish. This is the wrap up. If you took the case, and this is a matter of a constitutional right, at that point when you back down, it looks worse than the loss. To me, it looks like you couldn't stand up and fulfill the thing that you promised by law to your client. That, to me, is the philosophical part where you should not have done it. Darden, that's it. Don't take it or take it. Don't go then and take it and then pull it back in Indian game.
As we know,
that's my wrap up. Go ahead.
In philosophy, you may be accurate, but as we know, this has nothing to do with philosophy and everything to do with circumstances. First of all, he's no OJ. So at least OJ had that going for him. He was OJ. So people liked him. People wanted to believe him. Nobody wants to believe this guy. He's a nobody gangbanger. Like he's like nobody knows this guy. Like you like nobody wants to believe him. Everybody wants his head on a platter. So I say all that to say you stand at more of an uphill battle than did Cochran with OJ.
Yeah, and you know what? To run at the side of an uphill battle is just weak, philosophically wrong, constitutionally wrong. But the idea is, I think we both said all we can. I guess we're gonna beat this dead horse. Who cares about this guy? But the part that we care about is the debate and the question, because it does matter to hip hop. So where do you stand?
So was it a good idea for him to recuse himself? I think so on every level. Not because of the death threats. Well, obviously for his well-being, yeah. Probably, but because of the death threats. But even if you look at it from the job standpoint, when you lose this case, will it be hard to find work again? Will it be hard for you to represent another high-profile defense? I think so. And then this is why I think it was a good idea for him to recuse himself. You may have saved your legal career by recusing yourself. So that's the stance I take. That's how I look at it, and that's my close.
All right, you heard both arguments. What do you say? What side do you fall on? Leave the comments right there, because we do shout you out, and that's what we're gonna do right now. Number one, O Mythology. Appreciate you, man. You said cast round 1 and 2. Factual. We talking about Cassidy versus Goods.
Which battle were y'all looking at?
We'll talk about it.
That's the only thing I have to say.
I agree with you, old mythology. Y'all looking. That's exactly what I said. 1 and 2 cast.
Philly guys have already said he lost.
Man, don't care about what they said, man. Listen, Tamal Gagne said, nice podcast, guys. Appreciate that. Thank you. Karen Blackman. Listen to the bars and tell me who won. Cast 3-0. Woo! Karen Blackman, thank you very much for that one.
See, the whole problem is everybody keeps saying listen to the bars. There's a stage performance that involves listening to the bars. He lost that. That's what he lost. That's the part y'all are missing. He lost that. If you listen to bars, you listen to bars on your headphones, you may think that. But if you watch the show, the performance that was put on, he lost that.
I think he had a good performance too. Stuff Williams, we have enough trash rap as it is. He's talking about Lil Nas X, the show we did. I agree, but I do like the fact that he's changing the minds of what, black or hip hop culture is, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're not a monolith.
Country fans are upset.
Gotta get it out. All right, let's go quickly. Street Fighter player. We're gonna talk about your thing on our next show. Biker D. Appreciate you. Cassidy killed this dude. Once again, another one on my side. Biker D says bars over comedy. Facts. Mike Taylor. Appreciate you. You just had a whole bunch of laughs. A-Mob Status said everybody in the battle rap community knows that Goods killed Cassidy. First one we got. You're allowed that opinion. I feel you on that.
A-Mob Status. Thank you, sir.
Prophet FYB said, put me on y'all show. Well, all you got to do is go to the comment section. There's actually a way to do that. Click on it, join, and you can get put on our show. TGO Music said 100. Appreciate that. Low Luke Sky FI. Low Luke Sky-Fi. There you go. Low Luke Sky-Fi. Appreciate you chiming in. And Young Run It Up.
Love the channel. Just subscribe. My man. Thank you.
Salute.
Please.
Listen, there's a lot more than that, but that's all we can get to today. Appreciate y'all. Hope you join the debate right down there. Tell us what you think about our topic or about any of the topics we've been talking about.
It's the Hip Hop Debate Show, #1 in the world.
Facts.
The Basement. We off this.